Here is Chuck Schumer being about as feckless as you can be, pretending this is kabuki. This is kabuki. Trent Lott fired the parliamentarian for George Bush. I think it was back in 2003, 2001, to get the Bush tax cuts. Is that what it was? Here's Chuck Schumer pretending that the parliamentarian is like a wizard.
Now, I just want to say something about the news we received last night about the Senate Parliamentarian. Last night's ruling was extremely disappointing. It saddened me, it frustrated me, it angered me. But make no mistake, the fight continues. Senate Democrats have prepared alternative proposals and will be holding additional meetings with the Senate Parliamentarian in the coming days. I've been working closely with my colleagues in the Senate, including Judiciary Chairman Durbin, Senators Padilla, Menendez, Lujan, Cortez, Masto, and we will continue our fight to find the best option available to provide immigrants with the chance at one day obtaining lawful residence here in America. The last year and a half, Madam President, have shown how vital our immigrants have been to keeping our economy going during a time of crisis. So many risk their lives on the front line of this pandemic, but remain excluded from the very same benefits that have kept millions of others secure during these hard times. We're short of workers from one end of America to the other. One of the reasons, the Trump administration dramatically cut back on immigrants in this country. We need them. We need them in our labor force. We need them to continue American vitality. We need them because they're part of the American dream. It's estimated in my city by some that 1/3 of the healthcare workers at the height of COVID who risked their lives for us were immigrants. Having a strong law that helps our immigrants is vital. The American people understand that fixing our broken immigration system is a moral imperative and an economic imperative. Immigration reform has been one of the most important causes of my time in the Senate, and I will not stop fighting.
Oh, really? That's a funny way of showing it.
Good Lord.
Secretly, he's super happy.
I mean,
he's happy that they don't have to talk about immigration. That's the real.
I don't know if he. I mean, I don't know. You maybe, but this is just a joke. This is just a joke. The parliamentarian is like, I mean, contemplate this for a moment.
You're a wizard, parliamentarian.
The Senate is. Let's just talk about how undemocratic, small d, the Senate is. The vote of someone, with all due respect, Matt, in North Dakota is worth like what? 15 times more than the vote of someone in New York State in terms of the Senate. At least there are 40 million people more represented by the Democrats in the Senate than the Republicans. 40 million. Over 10% of the country. That's just at a 50-50, right? But then you need 60 votes to pass something, except for this one narrow thing, reconciliation. And then all of a sudden you need this wizard who sits in the corner and their
looks
authority.
Over her orb. Oh,
honestly,
can immigration be incuded in the budgetary resolution?
I thought I beat the final boss, and there's another new little boss out here I wasn't prepared for at all.
Exactly. And where does their authority derive from?
The boss I just defeated.
Robert's Rules of Order, I mean, this is like, it's like, it's like some type of like a social club or something. Excuse me, I'm the parliamentarian. No, they're not. They're not elected. They're chosen. They're fired. They're ignored. They're advisors. They're advisors.
But that's my point, though, is that they Chuck Schumer's a bit relieved, I think, in the midst of a fight over infrastructure to not have to deal with this. That's what they don't want to deal with it. They're so behind the times and they're thinking about immigration. They see it as like the way the Beltway media sees it, right? When the ABC sent down a panel to sit in front of the border to Mexico to talk about how horrible things were. Like, they have anxiety about that narrative. And so they're happy to push this off and not have to deal with it. And then, you know what? If Democrats lose one chamber, which is very likely going into 2022, done. Nothing on immigration going forward. And they're fine with that, honestly.
It's just too bad that there isn't like some type of huge, like a stone or rock in the middle of the Senate floor that someone could run over and pull a sword out of to defeat the wizard that sits in the corner and says what you can and cannot vote on.
Kamala Harris needs to get Excalibur.
All right, we're going to take a break, head into the fun half. Just a reminder, folks, COVID respondent supports for people will determine everything. If Biden and the Dems use negative partisanship but have no gains made to defend as being under attack from Trump, they will lose big. I'm sorry, I just don't agree. I definitely think the Democrats need to pass the reconciliation. I definitely think the failure to pass anything will be extremely bad for Biden. Yes. There's no doubt about it. But I do not think, let me put it this way. If you gave me the choice from an electoral standpoint, from just purely electoral standpoint, I could be wrong. I'm not talking from a policy standpoint. If I could only have one or the other, from an electoral standpoint, between the providing of material benefit through the reconciliation package, or, you know, Donald Trump out engaging in every one of these congressional races and touting, let's say, the Texas abortion law.
Oh, that's easy.
I think from an electoral standpoint, and I don't particularly like it, I think the second one is going to do better. But from a policy standpoint, I would rather pass these things, get them in there. And then if you got to lose the House, you lose the House. I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, that's not the way any of this works. You know, like Joe Manchin's, Joe Manchin doesn't care.
Right.
And the thing is, no one will vote for more Dems if the parliamentarian remains lauded as the fourth branch of government. I just think that, like,
we care about the parliamentarian. Most people don't, or like follow it.
They don't know it.
Yeah.
They don't know it. I mean, this is the thing that is so frustrating. There's no Democratic voters out there going like, I was going to vote for the Democrats, but they empowered the parliamentarian too much. No, they're not. It's just not that is, any politician who made that calculation would be ridiculous. The problem is that you're just not getting stuff done. And it should be known that it's a choice and that it's really just a function of like the activists. You know, like people sometimes conflate these things and, like the same reason why no one would give a crap that they overruled the parliamentarian or they fired the parliamentarian is also the same reason why no one gives a crap that they're lauding the parliamentarian as the fourth branch of government. Voters at large don't know any of what we're talking about. Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.